What's up, everyone? It's your host, Ghost, coming to you live with another wonderful video. How is everyone doing today? Oh, man, I know. Just getting up. All right. Hold on. Apparently, I got some problems. Do-do. All right. Hopefully, that worked. Apparently, my shit was not streaming to Rumble, which is kind of important. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but it's kind of important. Anyways, how's everyone doing this fine morning? I am exhausted per usual. Not getting enough sleep ever in the history of sleep. All right, sorry, just making sure everything is all situated. So we got a few things we're going to talk about. Um, we're going to talk about the Biden family, Biden crime family. Going to take a look into that. A special counsel has been appointed to investigate Hunter Biden's crimes. Finally, after his sweetheart deal has been denied by a judge, now they're investigating him. It's interesting. Or, well, I guess that's not true. It was obviously clear by that one of the sweetheart deal was denied that they were already anticipating this. So I guess I think that's fair to say. I mean, because I guess the sweetheart deal had a provision that he wouldn't be prosecuted for anything or whatever, and the judge was like, "What are you talking about? And what else is he going to be prosecuted for?" And all that stuff. I'm doing a very gross over uh, simplification of it, but that's the basics of it. And then we'll continue on with the head of the Biden crime family, old man Joe Biden, uh, who is having a Florida Republican introduce impeachment articles against him. So we'll go and look into that. And then afterwards, we'll go on to the other side and talk about a little bit of Trump. Um, he has an update in his 2020 election case. So we'll go and dive in there and see what that's all about. And then we'll go somewhere local. City council member campaigning to, or trying to get into city council. It's funny, she's campaigning on protecting businesses from crime, but apparently she's accused of shoplifting from a local business, and it's not the first time either. So we may watch some surveillance footage, look at an article, read that, see what that's all about. So some irony there, and then we'll get less political ish. We got a group of Native Americans that want the Washington Commanders to revert back to the Redskins name. So we'll take a look at that article, see what they have to say, and then finally, a judge in California has. Oh, I read it wrong again. Oh well. A judge in California has been accused of, charged with the murder of his wife. Um, and what that crime is, classic, the murder of his wife. Hold on. Just changing the description because apparently I got it wrong. I thought how he killed his wife was the definition of overkill, but we'll see. Anyways, so we'll look at that. Um, yeah, we'll take a look at that, see what's up with that. Mm, Come on, there we go. Paste. There we go. That's save shit, but there we go. All right. So, anyways, yeah, that's what we got today. Very simple, very easy. I don't suspect I'll get into anything else because I'm tired. I got to go work out because I'm fat and a loser. But while I'm here, it's a little warm in here. So let's. All right. So let's look at this first thing. Sorry. Oh shit, sorry. Okay. All right. Oh, whoops. My apologies. I didn't even share so you guys could watch this with me. Very rude. Sorry.
Began investigating allegations of certain criminal conduct by, among others, Robert Hunter Biden. That investigation has been recently referenced in federal criminal proceedings in the District of Delaware, and as noted in those proceedings and other public statements by Mr. Weiss's office, that investigation remains ongoing. In February 2021, U.S. Attorney Weiss was asked to remain as U.S. Attorney for the District of Delaware and, in that capacity, to continue to lead the investigation. As I said before, Mr. Weiss would be permitted to continue his investigation, take any investigative steps he wanted, and make the decision whether to prosecute in any district. Mr. Weiss has told Congress that he has been granted ultimate authority over this matter, including the responsibility for deciding where, when, and whether to file charges, and for making decisions necessary to preserve the integrity of any prosecution consistent with federal law, the principles of federal prosecution, and departmental policies. In a July 2023 letter to Congress, Mr. Weiss said that he had not to that point requested special counsel designation. On Tuesday of this week, Mr. Weiss advised me that in his judgment, his investigation had reached a stage at which he should continue his work as a special counsel, and he asked to be so appointed. Upon considering his request, as well as the extraordinary circumstances relating to this matter, I have concluded that it is in the public interest to appoint him as special counsel. This appointment confirms my commitment to provide Mr. Weiss all the resources he requests. It also reaffirms that Mr. Weiss has the authority he needs to conduct a thorough investigation and to continue to take the steps he deems appropriate independently, based only on the facts and the law. Mr. Weiss will also continue to serve as U.S. Attorney for the District of Delaware. As special counsel, he will continue to have the authority and responsibility that he has previously exercised to oversee the investigation and decide where, when, and whether to file charges.
All right. All right. So there's that. So it sounds like the guy who helped negotiate Hunter Biden's sweetheart deal is now being appointed as special counsel to investigate Hunter Biden. That's what it looks like. So now let's go and see what the House Oversight Chairman says. So House Oversight Chairman Comer unloads on Hunter Biden's special counsel appointment. This is a joke. Republicans say Merrick Garland's appointment of David Weiss validates claims that Justice Department is weaponized. Attorney General Merrick Garland recent decision to appoint the federal prosecutor investigating Hunter Biden as special counsel in the ongoing probe has come under sharp criticism from prominent Republican figures, like the chairman of Oversight, James Comer. On Sunday Night in America, host Trey Gowdy and Como shared in the same guy who used to be a fucking badass in Congress. Yeah. Shared in criticizing the appointment, referencing David Weiss' past decision involving Hunter Biden. David Weiss, same person, different title. It took a long time to get the special counsel, but it's also the same guy. You correct me if I'm wrong. That was going to let Hunter Biden plead to 2 misdemeanors and put a felony gun charge in diverse program. Hey, I was right. I'm always right. So this is David Weiss, apparently. Last month, it was anticipated that Hunter Biden would plead guilty to 2 misdemeanors tax count of willfully failure to pay federal income tax as part of a plea deal with the Justice Department in order to avoid jail time on a felony gun charge. However, the deal fell apart during his first court appearance after Judge Mary Ellen Noricki questioned its constitutionality. Comer voiced his reservations about the appointment. Well, this is a joke. All that Merrick Garland did was validate the point that many Republicans have been making that the DOJ was weaponized. While there have been many calls for the appointment of a special counsel in the case against Hunter Biden, Comer has had a different position. The one reason I would not give for not wanting a special counsel was what we've seen. The fact I have no confidence that Merrick Garland would appoint anyone credible. I've never dreamed he would do as bad as he did with Weiss. Not only did Weiss drag his feet for 5 years trying to negotiate a sweetheart plea deal with the president's son, he also let the statute of limitations run out. Gomer to continue. That was one of the biggest complaints from the IRS whistleblowers when they testified before the Oversight Committee. Was their frustration that they knew they were coming up on a hard stop as far as trying to prosecute the president's son for obvious crimes of tax evasion and violation of the Foreign Agents Registration Acts, but Wise intentionally let the statute of limitations run out. Comer was referring to the whistleblowers, IRS agents who testified on their experience as part of the investigation into alleged Biden corruption. Supervisor Gary Shapley and lead investigator Joseph Ziegler. We also learned in that testimony, Trey, that the IRS was. I'm assuming that means Trey Gowdy. This person didn't do a good job with their sentencing. That the IRS whistleblowers never knew about the 1023 form from the FBI that Bill Barr handed over to Wise. That alleged both Hunter Biden and Joe Biden were involved in a bribery scheme in Ukraine. Comer expressed his lack of confidence in both Wise and Garland, but assures Republicans would remain determined to seek the truth. This will not deter our investigation. We are going to continue to move forward and try to present the American people with the truth about this family. Well, the truth is they're corrupt as fuck. There we go. So there we have it. We have a special prosecutor or special counsel, and it's the same guy who got Hunter Biden his sweetheart deal. You know, the sweetheart deal that no one would ever get in a million years except Hunter fucking Biden. So there we go. Do you have confidence in, this special counsel? I sure as hell don't. Someone who was going to negotiate such a sweetheart plea deal with Hunter Biden instead of punishing him. Yeah, no, I don't believe this guy, is trustworthy at all. And the very fact that he, out of everyone, was appointed as a special counsel instead of someone that was, that had nothing to do with the case or had, is at least not biased or lets his bias get in the way is very telling. Not surprising, but and also very telling. Well, there we go. We'll see what that goes there. I'm suspecting we won't hear from the special counsel anytime soon. It'd be really funny if Republicans have done their investigation, somehow convicted Hunter Biden, and then the special and then he gets put in jail, and then the special counsel finally comes out and oh yeah, we agree, or oh, we don't agree. All right, Florida Republican introduces impeachment articles against Joe Biden. It's long past time to impeach Joe Biden, Stube said in a statement. Republican George Stube, Republican Florida, jumped ahead of his Republican colleagues on Friday and introduced articles of impeachment against President Biden. While several congressional committees are building a multi-pronged case to remove Biden from office, Stube said it's past time to take actions. He filed articles of impeachment against Biden, charging that the president has been complicit in his son Hunter's alleged crimes and had worked to shield him from justice. It's long past time to impeach Joe Biden, Stube said in the statement. He has undermined the integrity of his office, brought disrepute on the presidency, betrayed his trust as president, and acted in a manner subversive of the rule of law, justice, and at the expense of the American citizens. Stube filed 4 articles, allegedly high crimes and misdemeanors, by Biden. The first act accuses accuses the president of abusing the power of office by allegedly accepting bribes, committing Hobbs Act extortions, and honest services fraud related to use of his official position. These charges arise from Biden's alleged involvement with his family's business dealings, including Hunter and James Biden, the president's brother, alleged effort to sell access to then Vice President Biden between 2009 and 2017 in exchange for payment and business opportunities from foreign and domestic business partners. Chairman of the House Oversight Committee, James Comer, Republican from Kentucky, on Wednesday released a memo purported to show that foreign payments to the Biden family totaled more than $20 million. The Democrats say none of the evidence show that President Biden accepted any payments or committed misconduct. Second article charges that Biden obstructed justice, citing IRS whistleblowers' testimony that members of Biden's campaign improperly colluded with Justice Department officials to improperly interfere with investigations of tax crime alleged to have been committed by Hunter Biden. Both the DOJ and Special Counsel David Weiss, the U.S. attorney appointed to investigate Hunter Biden, have denied that Biden administrations impeded Weiss' work. Well, I mean, do you really trust them? They were just about to give him a sweetheart plea deal. I think the DOJ have really lost their credibility for anything we believe. So if they say one thing, it's a good chance that it's something entirely different. It's the opposite. And David Weiss, well, we just talked about David Weiss earlier, so believe him if you will. The third and fourth articles accuse Biden of fraud and paying for Hunter Biden's illegal drug and trysts with prostitutes, respectively. The evidence continues to mount by the day. The Biden crime family has personally profited off of Joe's government positions. Through bribery, threats, and fraud, Joe Biden must not be allowed to continue to sit in the White House selling out our country, Stube said. On the same day, Stube introduced legislation to require the Secret Service chief to write a report on the illicit use of controlled substance in the White House. The move comes after the Secret Service closed its investigation into cocaine found at White House last month. I read ahead. That's why I'm laughing. Without identifying a person of interest, Stube named the bill the Helping Understand Narcotics Trace at the Executive Residence Hunter Act. This guy's funny. Oh, I would love to have this guy as my representative because this guy is funny as hell. United States Secret Service, USSS, refers to himself as one of the most elite law enforcement agencies. Well, no one believes that in the world. It's completely unacceptable that the USSS has failed to find who is responsible for bringing cocaine into one of the most secure buildings in the world. Yeah, if they can't do it, bring in the FBI. I know they're corrupt too, but the American people, wow, I just sounded redneck there, deserve answers. My legislation demands information on the closed investigation into the cocaine found at the White House in July. Focuses on how Congress can provide oversight to prevent future illicit usage of controlled substance in the White House. Stube articles of impeachment have jumped ahead of at least 4 GOP-led committees' investigations pursuing avenues to impeach Biden or his top officials. The White House has ridiculed suggestions that Biden should be removed from office. I mean, even without all this stuff going on, that is pretty clear that there's this guy has been pretty dirty for most, if not all, of his political career. The fact that he's literally incompetent and doesn't know what the hell he's doing half the time should be, reasons enough to impeach the fucker. Hey, shout out to you, Rebel Pride 6165. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. I believe that bumps me up with my with Ghost channel to sorry. With my with Ghost channel, it gives me 7 people in total, 14 or 7 people on the with Ghost channel, 17 in total. So, I mean, look at that. We're moving up in the world. A couple more, and I might actually end up watching a Crowder show. 5 more, and I should be able to get my own unique. What the hell? Whatever. Look here. Right. Wait, was that my With Ghost channel that you got the? Okay. No. Okay. So we got there. Sorry. Sorry. I try to shout out all the people that subscribe to me because I appreciate your subscriptions. Then anyways, yeah, so like I was saying, the fact that this dude's literally, mentally deficient should be pretty clear. Anyways. All right, we're not going to get into what House Republicans want to do or may not do, hypotheticals. That's on them. That's for them to speak to. What I can speak to is exactly what we're doing today. Press Secretary, another incompetent individual, Karina Jean-Pierre, said in July, the economic data is so much better than economists had expected. And so that's because of the work that president has done. This president has done. That's going to be our focus. Our focus is going to be on what we can do to make Americans' lives a little bit better, giving them extra breathing room. Yeah, how about lowering taxes? That would give American citizens some breathing room. I'm just saying. Just lower some taxes is all. All right. Well, there we go. All right. Well, now we're in the middle of everything. Gotta go and do that. I'm sure what you're wondering is, what have I been drinking all this time? Well, what I have been drinking is coffee brand coffee. That's what I've been drinking. This delicious coffee company that makes me delicious coffee. This is the company. I am affiliate of Coffee Brand Coffee. Yes, I am. I just get rid of it over there. So I'm gonna have to take a part in the middle of my show to talk about Coffee Brand Coffee. So these are the various roasts that they have. Look at that. There's that bourbon. There's that dark roast. They got the classics. They got little unique ones of their own. Let's see. Let's try and find my favorite one. Oh, this is all cold brew. No one cares about cold brew. There it is. Right here is my favorite one. Right here, the French toast flavored coffee. It is delicious. It is a medium roast, which is what it is. I generally prefer dark roast, but this delicious one is delicious. like I have said. Um, we also have tea. Look at all this wonderful tea that they have. Apple pie, if you want to feel real American, even though you're being English by drinking tea. Those are the various teas. Cocoa, it's coming to that wintertime when cocoa is almost a requirement now. They got 3 different cocoa options. I'm sure eventually they'll get more. Cold brew, if you're into that type of stuff. Apparently, it's selling really well. Oh, this is just, yeah. So some of this stuff is sold out already. They're doing very well. Ooh, you want to go Colombian? There's some cold brew Colombian coffee. And then here are some snacks they got. They got them some roasted nuts, uh, and some saltwater taffy. So there are variety of options you got here. So yes, Coffee Brand coffee is my favorite coffee brand I've ever had. I bought it just because of the unique name, Coffee Brand Coffee. I love it. Nothing fancy, just very simple. It's coffee brand with coffee. Not really, but the brand name's coffee. But after having it for a while, it's been very delicious, and I haven't really strayed. When I'm kind of short on cash or not able to buy some quite, when I'm ready. Speaking of which, it's almost time for me to get some new one, but I'm gonna use some awesome codes. Sorry, got distracted here. But yeah, Coffee Brand coffee, it's delicious. They got 4,000 verified customers. I'm one of them, and most of them give a 5 out of 5 review. It would not surprise me how accurate it is. They got 12 coffee blends. I showed you some, as well as 12 leaf brands, and then of course the hot cocoa flavors, and then the nuts and everything. Now, the unique thing about Coffee Brand coffee is coffee that you purchase is not roasted until they receive your order. So you get the freshest of fresh that you can get. It is a delivery service, so obviously it's not going to be 100% the freshest of fresh unless until they open up a store you can go to and then get it fresh. Um, but yeah, sorry. Sorry. But yeah, that is the coffee brand I drink. I got my coupon code right there. Coffee brand coffee code, coupon code Ghost. Make sure you check me out, or use that as a way to get 5% off your coffee. Now, if you subscribe, you get 10% off. So make sure that it wouldn't the coffee code's not going to work if you do a subscription. But make sure you use this referral link when you go and do your subscription, because then I get credit for it. And it's the whole point of doing these ads is to get credit for it, right? Come on, we don't do nothing for free. Gotta get a little credit, little credit going on. Just a little credit. But yeah, here's the referral link right here, coffeebrandcoffee.com/question mark REF equals with ghost. So check, use that code to get the discount. Unless you subscribe, obviously, then you'll get 10% only. But yeah, try it out. It is quite delicious. I do enjoy it, like I continue to say. I just went on his Twitter or X to tweet out that Coffee Brand coffee stuff. And interesting. So Biden was asked about the deadly fires in Hawaii. That if you haven't heard, on Maui, there's been like some huge fires going on that have wrecked the land. So I guess a reporter asked about the deadly fires in Hawaii, where nearly 100 are dead and over 1,000 still missing. What is Biden's response? No comment. No comment. This asshole has no comment. Has he gone to Hawaii yet? I mean, I don't think so. Oh, fuck this guy. All right. All right. So we finished the Biden crime family story. So there we go. We're all done with the Biden crime family. Who cares about the crime family? I sure don't. Do you? I don't. But we will see what happens. I always, like I keep saying, I have some hesitancy when it comes to these politicians. I don't trust them at all, one bit. And I wonder why I don't trust them. Why would I not trust, these people? Why? Why would I not trust them? Because they're always hothead. They always say things, and then nothing ever gets done. So why should I trust them? I mean, do you trust them? I sure as hell don't. But anyways, um, okay. All right. So let's go on to President Trump's legal woes. Judge delivers mixed ruling on Trump's protective order in 2020 election case. I think this is his third indictment case. But who knows? It's hard to keep track of sometimes. Judge in former President Trump election case says only sensitive material covered under protective order, then agrees that with prosecution's definitions of sensitive. So it sounds like to me she agrees that only materials that are sensitive are under a protective order, meaning they wouldn't be released to the public, I assume. But then also agrees with the prosecution's definition of a sensitive, and I don't trust the prosecution at all. So, the federal judge assigned to former President Donald Trump's 2020 election case has largely sided with the Trump's definition or defense attorneys on a protective order over evidence, but handed prosecutors a win by broadening which materials is considered sensitive and should be protected. Yeah, how about none? If you're going to launch a federal case, then everything should be open to the public. Trump's lawyers returned to federal court in Washington, D.C. on Friday morning for their first hearing before U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan, who's overseeing Special Counsel Jack Smith's 2020 election meddling case against Trump. Chutkan heard arguments about the restrictions on evidence in the case. In court filings, prosecutors had argued for broad rules barring Trump's lawyers from sharing sensitive materials with the former president, including witness testimony to the grand jury and recording transcripts of Trump's associates who spoke to prosecutors. Trump's attorneys countered the government's request was too broad and infringed on Trump's First Amendment rights. Yeah. In a closed decision, the judge, I'm not even going to keep trying to pronounce her last name, said she was not persuaded that the government has shown all information gathered in the case would fall under the protective order. She ruled that only information designated as sensitive should be protected. However, she agreed that with the government that every single person interviewed by prosecutors is a potential witness and is sensitive. I don't agree with that at all. Shocking. Really, every single person. The defendant has the right to freedom of speech, but that right is not absolute. The judge said at the onset of the hearing, without a protective order, a party could release that information to the jury pool. Federal prosecutor Thomas Widom said Friday the restrictions were necessary to prevent the improper dissemination of materials, including to the public. The defendant has set forth an intention to set forth any information they deem informative. Widom told the judge. Defense has broadcast a strategy, and not this case. That is not to try this case in this courtroom, and the honor should address that, he said. The judge agreed, but was hesitant to issue a blanket order. Trump attorney John Lario then argued that the government request was extraordinary. We're in uncharted waters. We have a defendant running for president, and his opponent has the DOJ bringing charges against him, Lauro said. The fact that he's running in a political campaign has yielded to the orderly administration of justice. She suggests that Trump might release information about former Vice President Mike Pence's testimony, for example, to denigrate him as a witness. Defendant's desire to respond to political opponents has to yield. There are limits. This is a criminal case. That the need of this case to proceed in normal order means there are going to be limits on the defendant's speech. Judge told Laura that how the protective order might affect the presidential campaign was not her concern. I cannot and will not factor into my decision the effect it will have on a campaign for either side. Trump's legal team tried to persuade the judge that the government's request was so broad that Trump would not be able to respond to political attacks on the campaign trail without potentially violating the protective order. Everything that we do here is now under a political microscope. Unfortunately, because of what the government has done, he said, there has to be fair play. They can't even describe this discovery. Is it 1 terabyte? Is it 3 terabytes? You can't ignore the fact that there's a campaign. He will get his rights. The judge said the existence of a political campaign is not going to have any bearing on my decision. I intend to keep that out of my decision. Though the judge ultimately agreed with Trump's defense that not all evidence gathered by the federal grand jury falls under the protective order, she decided witness interviews and other sensitive material must be kept away from the public. Why? You're conflating your client's defense and what your client wants to do in a campaign. She told Trump's attorney, the former president engaged in a political campaign talking about potential witnesses who may not have the kind of protection that he has. They can get guns. I can see a lot of problems here. I can see how in advance of a trial making statements about potential witnesses could affect the orderly administration of justice and violate his release conditions. The judge also compromised on a paragraph of the proposed order where defense counsel would have to be in a room to be present in the room if Trump were reviewing sensitive material. The defense said the burden is too high and they have too much to do and cannot sit in the room for hours while the defendant reviews materials. The judge said Trump can review materials without defense attorney present, but is not allowed to have his phone with him at any times or any device that could copy or take a picture of the materials. The judge, an Obama appointee, has earned a reputation as toughest punisher in January 6th riot case. The Associated Press reported that she has consistently taken the hardest line against Jan 6 defendants of any judge serving on the Washington Federal Trial Court. The Justice Department has brought over 800 cases so far, marking the largest prosecution in the department history. In 7 cases, judge even handed out the tougher sentences than what the DOJ was seeking. She matched the prosecutor's request in 4 of them and sent all 11 rioters who had come before her behind bars to outlet notes. Shocking. In 4 cases in which the DOJ did not seek jail time, the judge gave prison sentences ranging from 14 days to 45 days. Trump faces charges of conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, obstruction of an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights, which stemmed from this investigation into 2020 election interference, the Capitol riots on January 6, 2021. The 2024 GOP frontrunner has pleaded not guilty to all charges. There we go. So not all are protected. Not all not everything that's being talked about is protected or whatever, but all the people talked to that are considered potential witnesses are protected and could be sensitive, which is dumb. So, I mean, that's what goes there. Shock. It'd be amazing if Trump does get indicted. Judge seems like someone who's an ass. Like, look, if you, I think if you go and end up prosecuting people and sentencing them to jail, even if the DOJ doesn't recommend it, you're kind of an ass or a cunt, I guess, if since she's a chick. But yeah, she seems to be a bit of a cunt. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I think I think the fact, this whole, the campaign doesn't, is not going to affect my decision. I think it really should, because he is going to get attacked politically about this. And, it, I don't know. It looked like, I guess it depends what is deemed sensitive. I don't think if you're going to bring it as something to trial, then nothing should be sensitive. There's like a few things that should be, and that's generally going to end up being like children witnesses and maybe some undercovers, just because of that. But that's about it, in my opinion. I don't think anything else should be really sensitivized or protected or anything like that. Maybe the names of people I could probably get behind. I could probably get behind the names of people, but what they say shouldn't be sensitive. Alrighty then. Next. Okay. So this is from conservative talk radio place. Rand's accused shoplifting candidate won't drop out. Surveillance video released. So Denise Yoon is running for Federal Way City Council on a campaign of protecting businesses from crime, but she's also accused of shoplifting from a local business and it's not the first time. And it looks like they obtained the original footage. Federal Way Trinity Ace Hardware store owner Nick Ross said one of his employees saw a female customer possibly put something in her purse. She was perusing the tool section at the time, which Ross said is where the store sees the most shoplifting. Yeah, I get that. He said he then approached the woman to ask if she had anything in her purse that she shouldn't. At that point, her shopping cart was full of wooden stakes for presidential signs. Her purse was placed in the top basket. She ended up coming towards the cashier, and I wanted to see if I could look in her purse to see if there's anything, if I could see anything. And I did see a small silver. She kind of had her hand on the purse. It was a very large purse, and there was a small silver, and I could see a shiny wooden hammer or handle. Ross said he was direct with his request, but the woman said absolutely not. And then that's when he reached into her bag and pulled out one of his hammers he believes she took from the shelf. I reached into the purse, pulled out a hammer. It was one of my hammers that had a little ace tag hanging around it. It's a ball peen hammer, so I grabbed it, and as soon as that happened, she just stormed out of the store. Ross shared the full surveillance footage catching the interaction and alleged shoplifting. It captures the customer clearly pulling the hammer from shelves, knocking over sign postage in the process. She puts the hammer on top of her purse and pushes the cart away. Moments later, surveillance footage shows the customer appearing to place the hammer in her purse. Soon, Ross discovers the female customer was actually his Federal Way City Council candidate. Ross says he spoke to one of his employees about what happened. He said his employee told the customer asked when the store would get more wooden stakes as they were all out. She gave the employee her number and asked if he'd call her when more were in stock. That's when Ross did some internet sleuthing. I did a reverse lookup on the phone number, and that's when Denise Yoon campaign website came up. And I asked a particular employee, "Is this the woman that you helped?" He said, "Yes, it was." And he said, "Yes, it was." Sorry. Ross explained. He said he even asked another employee if he recognized Yoon from the tool section. This employee also confirmed her identity. All right, let's look at this campaign footage. Stealing a fucking hammer. It's fucking hilarious. Just in case this has any audio. I don't think it does because it is a surveillance. There she is. She's all squat over there. She's looking at the hammers. She's all up in the hammer's grill. Okay, sorry. She knocked over that. She finally lands on the hammer she wants. Doesn't even put the sign up. It looks like she put a couple hammers. Takes her purse. Karen's it up and storms out. How dare they catch me stealing? All right, so there's that. I didn't think there was going to be anyone talking, but who knows? Never know. All right. Yoon says she's innocent. Yoon maintains her as innocent. Speaking to the federal emir, Yoon admitted to putting the hammers in her purse, but she said she did it so that they wouldn't fall on her feet. The Kent reporter said, "You claim she took the hammers out of her purse before leaving, though the surveillance footage suggests that's not true." Yeah, obviously. She also alleged that Rose made a racist comment about her running for office. How many Koreans gave you hundreds in cash to run for office in Koreatown? Ross said that it never happened. So I didn't know who she was at the time. Ross said, "I don't know how I could have had a racially remark against her ethnicity, which I didn't know who it was, or I didn't even know that she was running at the time. So those are, I think, just a way of discrediting what I have as proof." I don't know what kind of proof she has on her statement. There were witnesses around me. I do have customers and cashiers nearby that can vouch for that. Ross said after the story was reported, Yoon returned to his store and attempted to give him $200 cash in donations. I didn't ask for what or why. I just told her to leave the store. But if I had said something insulting her, why would she want to turn around and give me $200 cash as what she says is a donation, a bribe? I'm not sure what that means. Look, if you're going to bribe, go high. Go into the 2000s or the thousands. Don't do 200, thousands. Go into the thousands. Come on. There's some unanswered questions. Why would Yoon allegedly attempt to steal 3 hammers, but appear to be willing to buy to pay for the wooden stakes. Well, the hammers would be easier to hide because they just go into her purse, but the stakes, it's kind of impossible to hide those. Yoon did not agree to an interview after asking me whatever. This isn't the first shoplifting allegations. This is the first time that Yoon has been accused of shoplifting. Yoon pled guilty to second-degree attempted theft. This isn't an accusation. Wait, what? Look, this one here is not an accusation. It's a charge. She pled guilty, so she was charged. So she was convicted because she pled guilty of an incident on September 18th, 2000 at the Nordstrom at Beverly Square Mall. Loss prevention staff saw Yoon enter fitting rooms with a Nordstrom bag and merchandise, but when she exited, the items weren't located. Yoon paid for one dress but stole $1,451 worth of other merchandise. Now, to be fair, that was 23 years ago. Just to be fair. Police said Yoon confessed, but then told a Beverly police officer that she shouldn't have because she could have gotten out of the charges, according to the police report. She also said she was stupid for stealing and owning up to it. The Federal Way Mirror reports that Yoon, a nurse, saw her license suspended in 2003 by the State of Nurses Commissions after pleading guilty to second-degree theft. Okay, so she did it again in Tacoma at a Bon Marché. Her license was reinstated in 2018, and the conviction was vacated in 2020. Okay, so far, this isn't allegations because this guy says this isn't the first shoplifting allegations. These two are convictions because she pled guilty and it was a conviction. Charges have not yet been decided for the alleged Ace Hardware shoplifting. The city of Federal Way gave the case to the city of Kent to avoid any charges of bias. The opponent is incumbent Federal Way City Council President Linda Kochmar. Now, that's pretty smart. I mean, initially, it was reported that Yoon would drop out of the race, but she since clarified she's still in the race and intends to win. She'll probably steal it. Yoon released a statement on her campaign website. She alleges Ross followed her as she was shopping in her store and knew I was running for office and suggested I should buy hammers to place his signs on the ground. She accused him of releasing an edit video to show people one side story. What? How was any of that edited? It was all like basically one shot. Yes, it switched from one camera to another, but like there's no jump cuts or anything like that. Whatever. I hope people understand that there's two sides to a story. I'm not stupid enough to steal anything while running for office. Well, clearly you are, and had given the employee my phone number that would when they had more wooden stakes. I have not been charged with any crime and look forward to the day when all the facts of this incident are in full view. I will be vindicated and exonerated. She claimed that her experience is what it's like to campaign in the eyes of a Trump Republican. What? Yoon's campaign website said she's running to support our local businesses and to keep businesses safe. This recent incident obviously calls into question her commitment to being a trusted voice of local business. What the fuck? She tried to compare herself to Trump, I think. I think that's what that was. Or saying that she's being persecuted by Trump supporters. I don't know what she was trying to go for. Might have had a better chance if the guy was black. Just saying. Native American group calls on commanders to rename Team Redskins. Cannot erase history. Washington changed its name in 2020. A Native American group has pushed the rush on against the Washington Commanders and demand the organization revert its name to the Redskins. The name the team adopted when it was in Boston in 1933. Native American Guardian Association has encouraged fans to sign their petition, which is designed to promote our history and put an end to cancel culture, and hashtag reclaim the name Redskins. The group said more than 80,000 people have signed the petition. This is good. We invite all Americans to stand with the dignity of every American under assault in today's increased nonsensical culture wars. Petition says this line in the sand moment reinforces the undeniable history of Native Americans, assisting the founding fathers of America with Native American principles used by founding fathers in the U.S. Constitution, and every American's right to the First and 14th Amendment and not be a target of cancel culture or ESG. Not really sure what that means. This is not a simple left or right issue for Americans. It reaches across the political spectrum, dating back to our federal founding fathers. The NGA stands up for and is not only fighting back to preserve key elements of American history and the First and 14th Amendment, and the NAGA is fighting for civil liberties of every American. Americans see they are losing their rights because of vicious cancel culture that shows little caring about their concern or civil liberties. It's time to support leaders, brands, and organizations who will stand with every American rather than fighting against them. Join our fight. Show your support by pledging your donation today. Last week, the group sent a letter to Commanders leadership, including new team owner Josh Harris, team president Jason Wright, and head coach Ron Rivera, formally requesting the team revitalize its relationship with the American Indian community and rightfully change their name back to the Redskins. They simply cannot erase history and target the Native American community by eradicating the name Redskins, while being an organization that fosters other constitutional rights, including players who don't honor the American flag and kneel during our national anthem. The letter reads in part. The Commanders did not immediately respond to requests for comment from Fox News Digital. Former team owner Daniel Snyder changed the team's name from Redskins to Washington Football Team and later the Commanders amid a summer of racial unrest in the U.S. 2020. Snyder said the name had increasingly become a distraction from our primary focus of football and made the change in spirit of inclusivity. The Commanders team name debuted in 2022. Harris told ESPN the name change wasn't an immediate thing on the to-do list. Okay. According to ESPN, the team has waited 5 years before it can be rebranded. The only exception is if a new owner comes along. Harris took control of the team last month. So there we go. Even Native Americans are tired of this bullshit. Yeah, let the Redskins free. Yeah, cancel culture is dumb as fuck. Anyone who wants to go out just because they don't agree with what someone says or how they said it or anything like that is an idiot. And it's good because these are and it's good this is being ran by a Native American association. Kind of helps like defeat any of those white soccer mom liberals who are going to go out and say, no, the Redskins is racist. Well, it's a Native American association that is calling for the change from Commanders back to Redskins. So this kind of helps their cause. So we'll see what goes on there. I really don't care too much about football. I just found it far more interesting that it was a Native American group that was asking to, quote unquote, didn't hear nothing. Quote unquote racist name be back in use. So that's all. I just found it fairly interesting. All right. Last thing of today. All right. So this here, man, it's a fat guy. California judge charged with killing wife had 47 guns and 26,000 rounds of ammunition. Hero. Court documents. Judge George Ferguson paid $1 million in bail. I don't really see, like, did he kill, like, this isn't very, like, important just because he had 47 guns. Like, what if he just killed her with a knife or choking her out? Does the guns really matter? They don't. So let's find out. Did he shoot her? Let's see if he shot her. All right. California Superior Court judge arrested last week has now been charged with killing his wife in front of their adult son at their home. Court filings revealed the judge had over 47 weapons and 26,000 rounds of ammunition in his home. Okay, so he shot his wife. Okay, well then I guess it's still really not relevant because he only shot her with one gun. He didn't shoot her with 47. Ferguson allegedly shot his wife, Cheryl Ferguson, through the chest in the living room of their Anaheim home in front of their son using a .40 caliber pistol he pulled from his ankle holster amid an argument, according to court records. Jeffrey Ferguson, 72, has been charged with one felony count of murder, one felony enhancement of personal use of a firearm, and one felony enhancement of discharge of firearm causing great bodily injury and death. He faces a maximum sentence of 40 years to life if convicted, so he'd be 112 if he, lives where he could be released. He posted $1 million in bail and has been released until his arraignment on September 1st. In court filings, prosecutors allege George Ferguson shot his wife at close range while he was intoxicated. Shooting stems from an argument earlier in the evening while they were having dinner at a restaurant near their home, according to the filings. While at dinner, the judge allegedly pointed at a finger at his wife in a manner mimicking a firearm. So probably like what, this? Upon returning to their residence, the couple, still in the company of son, resumed arguing periodically over the course of more than an hour. Moments prior to the shooting, in reference to the hand motion gesture made at dinner, the victims uttered the words to the effect of, "Why don't you point a real gun at me?" What the fuck? According to the court records. Jeffrey Ferguson allegedly retrieved his pistol from his ankle holster and shot the center mass. Prosecutors alleged in filings. Their son had then called 911, reported that his father was drinking too much, and that after an argument, his dad shot his mother, according to the filings. The son tried to stabilize his mother along with paramedics, but they were unsuccessful, according to court filings. Within minutes of the murder, Jeffrey Ferguson then allegedly sent a text to his court clerk, and bailiff said, "I just lost it. I just shot my wife. I won't be in tomorrow. I will be in custody. I'm so sorry." According to prosecutors, Jeffrey Ferguson allegedly asked patrol officers to shoot him and was slurring the words while smelling of alcohol. He also made spontaneous statements and acknowledging culpability. The search of the residence found 47 legally owned firearms at the judge's residence, including rifles, shotguns, handguns, and over 26,000 rounds of ammunition, according to court records. An additional firearm was later found at the residence and secured by defense counsel. An additional .22 caliber is registered Jeffrey Ferguson, but its current whereabouts are unknown. But the defense counsel and law enforcement have been unable to find the rifle, according to court documents. Alleged murder weapon was a Glock 40 pistol, and it was recovered from the scene, as was a case recovering from the floor, according to documents. A single bullet went through Cheryl Ferguson's chest and exited through the middle of her back into a wall behind her. A blood sample collected from the judge about 7 hours after the shooting revealed he had a blood alcohol concentration of 0.06 at the time of the blood draw, according to court records. The couple's son told investigators he never witnessed domestic violence between his parents prior to the night of, but also reported he has witnessed many arguments that Jeffrey Ferguson tends to be more heated when he drinks, according to the court records. The son also told investigators that a few years ago, his mother told him Jeffrey Ferguson threatened suicide while with a gun by placing it onto his head, but was able to talk him out of it. There was one incident of a gun being discharged while Jeffrey Ferguson was alone in the bathroom, but it was the understanding that it was an accidental discharge. Ferguson served as a Superior Court judge since 2015 and previously was a deputy district attorney in the Orange County District Attorney's Office for over 30 years, according to prosecutors. The extent conditions of Ferguson's bail includes the surrender of his passport, that he not possess firearms or ammunition of any kind, the removal of his concealed carry permit. Prosecutors also requested that Ferguson submit to a search and seizure, wear an ankle monitor, not possess or consume alcohol, and remain in Orange County, Riverside County, or Los Angeles County. All right, there we go. I'm not really sure. Like, yeah, 47 gun. It's a lot of guns. Not enough, in my opinion. But it's not really relevant to the case, nor is the 26,000 rounds. None of that's relevant. What's relevant is, the gun he used and the casing. All those other ones aren't really relevant. I understand, like, the removal because of the protective order, but it's not really relevant to the case, in my opinion. All right. There we go. We're done. It's over. No more. We're done. The video's over. We're all done. So make sure you like and subscribe. Follow me here on Rumble with Ghost and on YouTube. Those same names on Rumble and YouTube are with Ghost. And then my gaming channel, of course, is Gaming with Ghost on Rumble and Kick. So check me out there. Like my videos. Follow me on X at @officialwghost. And I always put a link up when I go live, whatnot. And of course, check out Coffee Brand Coffee. Use my referral link right here. Referral link right here. 5% off. If you're a member of Coffee Brand Coffee and you're not a subscriber, use coupon code GHOST to help lower that cost. All right. Hope you all have a good day and peace out. See you later.